Hello, hello, and welcome back to currently the shortest series of the entire tournament, as that game was super darn quick. So I think any thoughts about that before we just shoot into the next one?
Rain has stepped down into MLG Dallas and won 4 games so far. Jjakji was 3-0 prior to that, defeating Marine King Prime, but dropping that game super easy. I mean, it was a cheese attempt, and it was game number 1 of a best of 5, so you kind of want to throw it off that way.
Yeah.
Sean, come on. Show him your pretty face.
Yeah, there he is. Ah, the stream just got so much better. So much better. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this game. The map is going to be Cloud Kingdom.
Let's do it.
A very popular map, a very awesome map.
Yeah.
And Control, you play Protoss.
Yes.
What are you going to do in this situation on this map where you just absolutely destroyed your opponent?
Well, he's riding high. I mean, here's the thing. I was starting to talk about how, like, you start off with cheese, it kind of throws off the mental mindset of your opponent because you're not quite sure, is this going to be a cheesy series? Are you going to go into ultimate like macro mode from there? Well, if your cheese gets put down that hard, it wasn't even like, oh, he's got 4 probes left. No, he had all his probes left. He was totally fine. Like, he could have started donating things and probably gone on to win that game. But that's when it comes back at you. If you're Jjakji, you're like, it's kind of like in a lot of those, like in The Matrix, when they shoot at him and he just kind of like, no, and he stops the bullets midair.
Right, yeah.
Like, what do the freaking agents do at that point? They're like, well, what the hell?
They get jumped through. That's what happens.
They get jumped inside. Yeah.
Anyways, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Up in the top right side is going to be our red Protoss, thwarting away that attack with ease. It is Rain.
Or Neo. Neo Rain. Neo Rain, maybe?
Neo?
New Rain.
New Rain. All right, this one's all you.
I'm going to do it.
Since I'm too white to say this.
I trying to get me fired. I was like, yeah, so in the left. No, that's all you get, because that could have been anything. Lower left-hand side, blue, the Terran player trailing 0-1 from Noosio. It is Jjakji, a GSL champion.
Now, really the cool thing, anytime you want to use a stupid voice, just say you're making fun of me.
Ah, good.
And then really it's up to me if I want to fire you or not. Since if you remember, I'm the one who invited you to this event.
Yes, Husky.
I'm the one who's paying you, so, you know.
Yeah, big shout out to Husky, of course, hiring me for MLG.
You know somewhere someone actually thinks that that's the case.
It does happen every single time. It has to. It has to. Some of the jokes that I've made then have people seriously respond to me like, hey, you can't say that. I'm like, all right, wait a second. You think I was serious? Anyways, Cloud Kingdom used to be the Protoss stomping ground, so I almost have to wonder if this is prearranged order of maps. Because as a Terran player, I'm not sure I would lose game 1 and then be like, well, let's go to Cloud Kingdom. It's not terrible for Terran, but it's good for Protoss, and there are better options, I feel, in this map. Well, that being said, it used to be good because of like 2-base Colossus timings that Squirtle kind of introduced into the scene with great success. IPL, I want to say 5 comes to mind, where he kind of murdered a whole bunch of people. He didn't end up winning it, but he did really well there. But that's not really as much of a big of a deal.
But did Medivacs back then go so fast?
No,
so
they never did. I mean, it's actually funny because there was actually, not a lot of people remember this, there was a Wings of Liberty patch where they actually slowed down Medivacs.
Oh, that's right.
Just a little bit.
I do remember now.
And they were like, you know what? We done goofed. Those Medivacs were just too darn tootin' good. And then a couple years later, they're like, well, they're not good enough. Let's make them 500 times better. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually gets reversed to some level. Jjakji over here ready to greet this probe with his Marine. One of the marks of a really good Terran is a guy that in the early game will fan out and scout for things like this. Because a Protoss wants to have that map control. They'll get it with the Stalker, but they'd love to have a probe circling around, checking for things like proxies, but more importantly, just looking for a place to plant their own pylon, because they are the ones that want to get the pylons out for spotting Medivacs and being aggressive.
All right, now Jjakji did scout out a little bit, did not spot the expansion here, is still going to be dropping a bunker. Do you think the fact that he's dropping a bunker this early, is that a slight misread, or does he actually need this right now?
Well, he's trying to cheese. He's trying to cheese, he's trying to hide it, but look at this. That probe.
Ninja probe.
That probe sees everything.
Wow.
It saw the command center, it saw the factory, and it saw the reactor barracks. That is a mistake. So I just got done talking about how you want to have those Marines out on the map to scout around, but I'll tell you what, it's a double-edged sword. The other side of that is if you are out on the map, you're not blocking your natural. And if that probe shows up and dies to 3 or 4 Marines at the top of that ramp, it sees nothing, he probably infers there's an expansion. By seeing the factory, by seeing the barracks, the likelihood of getting a few mines dropped in the mineral line reduces significantly.
He does have the Widow Mine on the way right now. Starport about halfway completed, but Rain, man, getting that expansion super early. It's on the way. We do see Jjakji going to be going for the upgrade there to the Orbital. And the SCV, what did that SCV see? He got a little bit further than I thought he would.
Yeah,
he did see all the gateways.
And the Robo right there as well. So, I mean, saw everything. The thing about that is this is all completely standard, but not to take too much away from your point, because your point is, by seeing the normal stuff, he knows that there's not like a Stargate out there or something weird like that. So this is actually a good thing from a scout, especially considering how most Terrans have to invest a scan to do that. He did it with an SCV. That's a Walmart slashing of prices right there, and he's happy with that.
You do mention a Stargate.
That'd be weird.
And I haven't seen like any Protoss go that. Do they not do that much in the early game, as far as you know?
It's a little bit risky. The Oracle, of course, very powerful, can show up in that mineral line and just shave off tens of SCVs in the blink of an eye. But by not having that Robo, you don't have as easily. Well, you have the Oracle again, but you want to have observers for your detection of things like those mines. So a lot of people still go Robo, and they need Colossus as well. You're not making Void Rays in PvT, let's put it that way.
All right, well, the name of the game so far in this tournament is drops. Not necessarily this early of drops, though. We'll see if Jjakji's actually able to do any damage here, as the Stalkers are in position to deal with that. And going to be adding extra production facilities on the back of this. So this is by no means an all-in. He has an engineering bay as well. But here this is the drop. It's actually going to run right into those Stalkers.
Oh, wow.
And backs it up.
Interesting choice to back it up, actually. A lot of Terrans will just put on the afterburners, take a couple of shots from the Stalkers, no big deal. It's like hitting a seagull. It just doesn't do that much.
Right, they still steal your Cheetos.
They do. And
seagulls are brutal. So are ducks. If you ever want to like call someone fierce, just call them a duck, because that means they can kick your butt. But right now we do have the one Widow Mine there, and the mineral line should get
teeth.
One probe. Photon overcharge.
Love that. That frickin' mine has such good fight. I mean, it just targets the absolute right thing to do. He's going to Marine drop these sentries, actually. Really nice move right there. He's going to get a couple more probes. He's going to have charge for himself. Or not charge, excuse me, but the afterburner is going to get the hell out of there.
Those Marines got so left behind. That was like a drunk medevac pilot right there, not able to pick them up somehow.
You'll notice the difference between Protoss and Zerg, too. When you leave behind Marines or Ghosts to the Zerg, they turn them into super weapons. Protoss shoot them with lasers. They don't know, they don't know any other way.
Yeah.
That's the way of the Protoss.
To be fair, I think Protoss just love the sound of a dying ghost. It's like
never say never.
Yeah.
Or no, he says never say die, which is the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing to scream as you're dying. I mean, not only are you saying it, but you're also dying.
Right.
So maybe they just.
It's all about confidence, even dying. Because then it's like, well, is he actually dead? I don't know. We got the Widow Mine right there.
I'm doing.
We have the Widow Mine there at the third base, which is actually annoying as Protoss because of that probe goes. Oh, actually, wait, is that probe going over there?
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh my God, look at this! Look at the timing. He's so good. That's actually so calculated. That's kind of creepy.
Does he notice though? That's one of the things that.
And boop,
pops it, and because I'll tell you what, there's a grip of Protoss out in the world that have done this thing where they just keep sending probes over there, and eventually the mine has like 7 kills. It's like, why do I not have my third yet? And then you finally realize, oh, that's right. But otherwise, I mean, we got armor on the way, and I think that's a single forge variant. There's no, if I didn't miss it, no +1 attack before that. Cannons going up in the middle. This is kind of a new age thing. A lot of times you'd see this in Wings of Liberty to defend against drops. Sure, that helps here as well, but it's really to stop like mine run-bys or dropping of the mines. It just gives instant detection for 150 minerals cost. That proxy pylon by the Terran was found, and that's the only pylon that half the map. So Jjakji's positioned himself quite well here. Yeah, and also speaking of drops, going to be going in, and once again, he backs out, but that time he did see a Colossus there, which is much risky. And we do have a drop over at the expansion trying to go down. That medevac got dangerously low. Sniped the cannon. Another one's going to replace it right away. And this drop play, I got to say, has been held off quite easily by Rain. Some of the best that we've seen. Still does not have that third base, though, which I think is very important here. I'll tell you, yeah, you're absolutely right. And well, it's going to be double observered. Holy crap.
That is so spotted.
This mine was never more detected than now, and it still gets a shot off at the frickin' stalker. It's so hilarious. But Jjakji's done a great job using his drops to keep the Protoss contained. On the flip side, Rain's done a pretty damn good job of not allowing this harass to hurt him too much. He's close in supply, which is standard at this stage in a PvT.
Oh, that photon overcharge actually just got 2 shots off before running out of time. I believe so. But either way, it does look like the Colossus here. Going to be able to clean this up. He's got to get there. Oh, the medevac
drop in the main.
Full of units. There's also going to be a drop in the main. Gets locked. Oh, that medevac with 1 HP. How is Rain doing this? He's holding off the cheese, holding off the drops look easy, but Protoss have been falling to this all tournament long.
It's just, I gotta be honest, the Rain is as rock solid as it gets. He's taking 0 risks. He's playing very safe. Cannons in the back line, Mothership Core between the two Nexi for that overcharge, now getting Templar Archives. Just now the third's landing for Jjakji, so he's not even that far behind economically. And when I say that far, to be honest, he's just not behind. It's really standard for Protoss to do this. He's going to push out here, though. No Vikings on the field, except for these 2 that are out on the field, so I'm kind of absolutely wrong about that. But
don't worry, they'll get it in post.
Third is going down. It's going to try to get canceled here. There's no medevac support here, so there's not going to be any whisking away of this army. He's got to be careful when he runs out of that stim. He could just lose this chunk of bio, and I got to tell you, Jjakji can't afford it.
Yeah, now right now you got to remember that the medevac count, I mean, it's okay because he's been doing drops, but not as high as he would like, and it does look. Was that another medevac
he lost
down?
Another medevac, another drop.
Overall units lost. You do not normally see this versus such an aggressive dropping Terran. Usually it's at least even, but Rain doing a great job right now and also securing that third base. Jjakji, though, able to secure his own third base, so going to be able to supplement that income a little bit with extra mules. And still not that many medevacs, just 3.
I feel like Rain would be one of the guys that doesn't understand the complaints about the medevac. He's like, what? It's speeding up the inevitable for me. They're just dropping faster into my grips, and it's making the games much more quick for me. These drops have done nothing. He's repelled them at every step, and he's not doing it through magic or luck, ladies and gentlemen. He's got observers in the right place. He's got his army in the right place. He splits perfectly. He uses Mothership Core to get that photon overcharge.
And that's all you have to do to play like Rain.
But then he focuses the medevacs, too. He's taking every shot he can on the medevacs, which allows them to then die circumstantially every time he engages them. And it's just,
you know what is ridiculous?
Beautiful.
Is he's only made 2 Colossus. He's forced out 8 Vikings, plus any that may have died. There's another one on the way. And he's already tech switching to Psystorm, which means those Vikings are going to do nil. Yeah, they'll kill the 2 Colossus, but he's already past that.
Yeah.
That's like the old Cadillac, man. Now you got to move on to a faster. Oh, no. High Templar are not as fast as anything. They're like the Hummer now. Get a big old slow Hummer that shoots Psystorm. So I got to say, like, how does he manage to do that by only making 2 Colossus? It's very impressive.
Well, I'll tell you, the other thing to add to that, too, is the flip side for the Terran player here is that because he's done so much dropping but losing those drops, his army has no medevacs.
Yeah.
None. So every time he stims, he's actually contributing to the overall DPS his army's taking. Of course, stim gives some response back, but without medevacs to cancel out a lot of that damage, it's a huge detriment. There is a drop that was attempted on the right side, but it's going to circle back because at this point in time, Jjakji's had his hands slammed so many times in the doorway that he's just sick and tired of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we even have the 3 armor, 2 attack on the way for our Protoss. So he's sitting on 2 armor, 1 attack, which is great considering that in the midst of all of this, what's been going on. He does have an additional Colossus queued up, and he has the High Templar out with Psystorm already. This is actually a huge learning game, I feel like, for any Protoss players out there. This is what you're going to have to learn to do versus those drops.
He did just a very standard 1-gate expand. He had his Stalkers protecting for drops. He had observers 2 or 3 at a time out on the map, spotting for the army placement, army movement, but also drops of the Terran player. And he very, very much so, in a complete standard way, went Colossus. Of course, the number 2, as you point out, is a little bit clever, going a little bit faster Templar Archives. But everything else, this is textbook PvT, and Rain is your guy if you're looking to learn how to play.
Yeah, and you also got to remember that every single unit that was added for Protoss is an air unit, so he's using basically no new units. We're only seeing the Mothership Core out here, which is pretty standard and a very easy unit to understand. A couple Zealots do get killed here as they attempted to counterattack that third base.
It's going to get risky here. Now, as much praise as we've been singing for Rain, this can get flipped on its head pretty quick with just 1 bad engagement. Those Vikings are hanging over the chasm, doing great damage to those Colossus, but a couple of Storms throw them back, and as I say, great damage. I'm looking at these Vikings and I'm saying, where did they go? They've been thinned out. Rain wisely says, you know what, I'm going to back up after dispersing little pockets of Zealots.
The third base. Yes, there's a bunker right there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to deal with this many Zealots. The SCVs immediately, though, do react to get that repair off. The bunker will remain, albeit barely. Nice. And you got to say, you know, Rain is making the right moves here, but he can't give up the advantage that he has. The Storm's going down on the Vikings. He'd love to land it on the bio there, but he didn't do as much damage there as I thought he might.
Now, let's give credit where credit's due. Jjakji is playing against one of the best pros on the planet. He has had almost all of his drops just outright smashed into smithereens, but he's hanging in there. He's 5 ahead in supply in a maxed out game, which is a weird thing to say, but he's still here. He's got a shot. He's got Ghosts, he's got Vikings, he's got Marine, Marauder, Medevac. You can't really ask for much more for a Terran player.
That Ghost very dramatically shooting that pylon, man. They are like the hardest tryhards in this entire game, I swear. but the army now is going to be moving out to the right side, and we'll have to see, does Jjakji decide to defend? God, his army is so spread out. It's so weird to see Protoss like that, but
making a weird choice. He's making a weird choice. It's a very small counterattack that he's doing. There's still a pocket of Marine Marauder over there that can smote that quite easily. A little bit of a flank of Storm. It is coating a good chunk of the army. It's very soft. A lot of red here. Only 4 medevacs. Lots of energy. No Vikings, though. The Claw's doing tremendous amounts of damage, and Rain will have his day here as he wins that fight.
Do you notice how he had the High Templar waiting over there by himself? He's just chilling. He's got 3 kills, but did much more damage than that. The counterattack forcing the liftoff right here. Rain is just a step ahead all along the way. He's going to be moving up the ramp right here. Might actually be able to end this here. There's just nothing left for Jjakji. I got to say, Protoss players, you have to use your brain. That's exactly what Rain did in this game, and he is crushing through, making it look easy. But if this tournament is any indication, this is not easy. Those same 2 Colossus, I believe, are still alive. If nothing else, they're kick-ass Colossus either way. And this might be it. Even if it does get cleaned up, he is way behind.
Well, this army, I think, won't end it, but it's certainly the beginning. Then, as you had said, it just did such tremendous damage. And I called into question the counter at the 3rd, but of course, Rain knew exactly what it was.
Wow.
Cleaning up that 3rd. Army goes in there, trades effectively. It's not even really a trade because the 2 Colossus were still alive, by the way. I don't know how that happens. They must have a hardened shield or something, but Rain has gone up 2-0 against Jjakji, making it look easy.
Yeah, that was how you have to do it, and considering how many Terran players have actually advanced through this tournament, you have to think, is Rain going to be able to play that playstyle? If he advances right now, which currently he's in a really good spot, is he going to be able to play that same playstyle and make it work? I got to say, I am quite impressed. I've been reading Reddit, I've been reading Twitter and Team Liquid. A lot of people really upset about those drops going on, but Rain's like, what drops? I mean, I feel like nothing's changed.
You mean those things that I was constantly in position to stop? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this game for me is the game that I would want to make into a VOD and have commentary and say, look, Protoss players, this is how you do it. And of course, let's not be, I mean, not every game quite goes this fluid. Sometimes your Stalkers are slightly out of position. They drop in a different spot. Those kind of things happen, but by large in part, this is how you want to do it. And Rain just did it through raw mechanics, positioning, and just standard play. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, 3-base Protoss, definitely very strong if you can deny those drops. So awesome job there. So without further ado, we're going to take a super quick break, and when we come back, we can see if it's going to be a 3-0 sweep. I'm Husky.
And I am in control. Thanks a lot, and make sure and stay in school.